my name is Sasha, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My makeup is halfway done, so we know what time it is. It's makeup and messy story time. Yes. So, when I normally do my makeup, I have I use Too Faced Born This Way concealers. Everybody knows, like, to me, the concealers are better than the foundation. I'm just saying, it is. So I was doing my makeup the other day, and I was like, something's not right. Something is not right. It's not matching. And so what I would do is I have this darker color, which was like, it's not dark enough for like a contour, but it would mellow out with the one that was actually my shade. In the summer, this is my under eye color. But as we headed into fall, kind of into winter, this became, I could use it under eye, and I would use a little bit of this one. Y'all, I look like I was trying to put on like self-tanner or something when I used this one. My melanin just went away overnight. So we are down to 2. What Jeezy say? I need a vacation. I need a vacation. I really do. I've been thinking about going to Mexico. But anyway, I have yapped long enough. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna blend this out. I know it's looking very 2015-ish, but I'm trying to figure this thing out because the colors are, the melanin gone, y'all. Let me pull up our story time, and then hopefully I can finish my makeup before this video ends.
Part 1 of how my mom dated a killer and how he unalived her. So this happened when I was about 6 or 7. And like, I just remember as a kid, like it playing on the news, like back to back. Like when it happened, every person's house we went to, it was on the news. Like, and that was traumatizing for me as a kid. But like, so like when he used to come around, me and my sister never liked him. Like as kids, we was like, ugh, we just do not like him. We was like, mama, like, we didn't even understand why she liked him, like, but she was all about him. And whenever he came over, it was like, he took her attention off of us, like, they would be in the room, so we'd be like, like, who this dude think he is, just coming over, but it was just like, he kind of looked, I don't know, just like us as kids, like, we just peeped it, like, man, something ain't right with this man. But my mom was like into him, y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all. And I remember, like, he used to try to like win my mama over, clean up the house, cook her breakfast. And so my mom was like, like, oh, y'all, do y'all like him? We like, mm-mm. And so like every weekend we would go to our auntie's house because she only had one daughter and another one was in college. So we would always go to our cousin's house and visit with her on the weekends. And so, yeah, so when he would be over, me and my sister would be like, ooh, we're leaving, you know what I'm saying? Because he always got her in a room now. So we was kind of excited to be leaving. Whatever, that was like the gist of like how things were going. And like I remember one time when we was about to get our butt whooped because we had did something, and we used to run, like make our mama chase us, like your mama have a switch or something, so we would run from my mama. Why one time he started trying to chase us, like to make our mama catch us, like me and my sister was looking like y'all. And so I remember one time me and my sister, we was really trying to run now, and I remember I had hid up under the bed, like all the way in the back. And so I was like looking, and he like found me, and he had, I guess he was cooking something. He had one of those little long forks, like the long pitchforks, like when you grill and you like poking the sausage or whatever, or the meat. He like had it and was like,
what the hell? Absolutely not. Ladies. I'm not saying this is the case, but it kind of sounds like it, just a little. We got to be real conscientious about being male-centered. It's okay to like a man. Shoot, it's okay to love a man, but balance. Especially when you got kids.
So this is going to be real quick, and this is not going to be a whole bunch of parts. So, like I said, when he did the little pitchfork thing, like that already was like, this dude is weird. I never told my mom about that, though. But I will say, when we had left that weekend, because like I said, we went to my auntie's house every weekend, we had gave our mom a hug and kiss. She met us, like she was at the doorstep. We gave her a hug and kiss. When my uncle hit that curb, we was like, wait, we forgot to give our mom a hug and a kiss. It was evident we gave our mom a hug. So it was like, we had a feeling. We knew our mama, we wouldn't go see our mama again. Like, that's, I'm telling y'all, I'm not lying. Like, we had a feeling that something was just weird. So sometimes when I leave the house with my kids and they cry, it's like very triggering for me, because I'm like, am I gonna come back? Like, what y'all crying for? What y'all crying for? You know, so.
Wow.
Okay, y'all, this is part 3. So like I said, when me and my cousins and my sister was playing, like, it was cool until it hit like bedtime. And I swear, y'all, it was like something so heavy on my heart where I could not even go to sleep. Like, I was just like thinking about my mama, like, oh my God, something is wrong. And my mama, she was the type of mama where we had to know our address by heart, her number by heart, house phone number by heart, all that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like looking for a house phone. At this point, I know everybody in the house is asleep. And I'm like, mama, when I called her, y'all, important details. When my mama used to be mad or arguing with anybody, she would shut her room, lock her door, and blast the music. That's immediately what I heard. I'm like, Mama, what's going on? Why you mad? She's like, girl, stay in the child's place. And then I hear him banging on the door. I'm like, Mom, is everything okay? So she's like, yes, girl, stay in the child's place. Da da da. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, as requested, this is a longer part 4. After I got off the phone with my mama, that's where we was at, right? It was so hard for me to go to sleep, y'all, but I finally dozed off. And then I woke up in a panic, like a damn hot flash. Like, I was like, oh my God, let me hurry up and call my mama. Let me hurry up and call my mama. I hurry up and called her back, no answer. When I woke up in that panic, y'all, I really feel like that's when she took her last breath. Like, I really do. It's nothing that nobody can tell me. There's nothing that nobody can tell me to make me believe that wasn't her taking her last breath when I woke up like that. So when I had woke up, my sister woke up, my cousin woke up. Me and my sister kind of had the same vibe. Like, we was just off. Like, we wasn't excited. Like, oh, we finna go run and play. It was like, it was just very like dry, basically. So we went downstairs. My cousin like, y'all want to play Monopoly? We just like, yeah, like, you know, like the vibe was off. So we start playing Monopoly. I swear to God, y'all, me and my sister start crying in sync, like busting out crying. My cousin looking like, what's wrong with y'all? And from that point on, it was like everything was a domino effect. So me and my sister start crying, and then we hear our auntie upstairs yelling and screaming, crying, and then the doorbell ring, and it was like a sheriff knocked on the door. Y'all, I'll never forget. Knocked on the door and was like, hey, are you guys relatives of such and such? Uh, of such and such. We need somebody to come identify the body. Like, the whole house went crazy. Like, it was just that right there, just that, y'all. Anyway, yeah. That part is just hard for me to even think about. Like, everybody just started going crazy, crying, like, oh my God, oh my God. Anyway, me and my sister looking at each other scared as hell, like, damn, we're not gonna be able to go back home. Like, we thinking all type of stuff. Where we gonna stay now? Like, where we gonna live? Like, so that was just so fearful. After that happened, my uncle did have to go and identify the body. They had to take pictures and for evidence and everything in court. So then I just want to insert a picture so you guys can see how teen my mama was. But yeah, so back to the story. My uncle went to go identify. They also took pictures as well for court. And then y'all, so like, when a couple of family members and my older sister got to the house, I mentioned, like, God called my mama last night and they were arguing. She was like, why you didn't tell nobody? It wasn't to like a part where she tried to make me feel guilty. I feel like a lot of kids probably would have took that as always my fault. I didn't tell to save my mama. I never felt like that or nothing. So that was good. I can only imagine how that would have made me feel. But the way he had killed her was he strangled her to death. They said that, like, this part of her, like, of that little line right there was disconnected. They said her ear, like, this part was disconnected. Like, he really, like, damaged her face. And that was even scary to think about. But crazy thing is, y'all, he slept with her the whole night. Yeah. And then he woke up and turned himself in. So, yeah. A little backstory on how me and my sister's life went. We did end up staying and living with the auntie that house we was over. Excuse me. We did end up living with her. She was doing well in life. So we ended up kind of like, you know, I don't want to say things happen for a reason, because that would be only strictly selfish just because how our life turned out. But my auntie was well off, you know. I think me and my sister, we didn't have to share rooms with our cousin or nothing. You know, we went to a good school. We lived in a city at the time, so that's kind of how, like, everything happened. When we did have to flunk a grade because we was terrified about going to school. Y'all, the first time I had went to school, the kids was looking at me like I was crazy, just looking like. And I don't know if the teacher had maybe told them, like, hey, you guys, like, when she comes back to school, please don't ask any questions. One little girl asked me, did your mom die? And I just ran the heck out of class. Like, I just could not take it. I didn't want to go back to that school. And so then, yeah, that's a little backstory. Y'all got any questions, y'all can ask. I don't want to disclose his name because I swear I think he got out of jail like in August of last year. So I don't want to disclose his name. The videos are already doing well, so. Yeah, I'm gonna make this one part 5 because as I'm just like thinking back on the story, you know, some details are like popping up. I'm like, dang. So I'm just filling y'all in. Like I said, just be sure to engage. And make sure y'all following me as well. But like I don't know what part I said this in, but the time we had left our mama and I was saying like we knew we wasn't gonna see our mama again. Like we just had a gut feeling, but we couldn't really put like put a finger on it. My mom knew as well. So like I said, when people say people know when something's about to happen to them or something like that, I believe that to be true. Um, a couple of weeks prior to her death, she had me, my sister, and my older sister. It's 3 of us, y'all. I don't know why I feel like I'm leaving my older sister out, but she was out the house. But and sorry, y'all, I know I said 6 or 7. I was 10. I was 10. I was tripping. But anyway, so a couple of weeks prior to that, she had my older sister come over and she sat all of us down in the living room and she was telling us like, y'all, I need y'all to listen to me. And she was serious as hell. She said, y'all, I need y'all to listen to me. I don't know, like, I can't even really think about her words, but it was something along these lines. Like, I need y'all to listen to me. This is very serious. She caught our attention. She said, if anything ever happens to me, yep, right on the money. That's exactly what she said, y'all. She said, if anything ever happens to me, I need y'all to follow this. She said she didn't want us to split up. She told me something about how my dad was supposed to continue to pay child support as long as I went to college, if not up until I was 18. She told my sister something. I was so engaged on what I was supposed to remember. I don't remember what she told my sister or my older sister. My older sister is in her 40s, and then me and my other sister, I think she's about to be 33, and I'm going to be 32. So, yes, she told each one of us something that, sorry, y'all, my nose is running, but she told each one of us something that she wanted us to remember. And we was like, Mom, why are you talking like that? Like, you know, we was down there finna cry just right there. The whole day was like just dry, like still as hell. Like we was just kind of looking at each other like, okay, y'all, I'm gonna answer a few of these questions tonight. The question is, sorry this happened to your mom and siblings, so sad. May I ask, has this made you very selective with your caliber of men? And the answer is yes. I've left men alone if they had a tendency of being overly mean. I do not date mean men. That is one thing.
Me either. Me either. Mm-mm. I don't know. No, absolutely not. It's just something about it. I can't do it. I can't do it because, like, that's literally one of my deal breakers. If a man is mean to me, not to say that you can't, you might get upset at some point, but it's just different. And this has nothing to do with the story. In my experience, men who are broke and or don't have their stuff together, and they see you and you thriving striving to do better. I don't do insecure men either. I do not. I've been there, and that was the worst. Ooh, no. Because if I'm your baby, if I'm your lady, why are you being mean to me? Like, you definitely not gonna put your hands on me. Another story for another day.
That will get you left. Here I come, Terry. So yes, and then I tend to date people that I know, that somebody know I went to high school with. Something along that. Somebody that know you, that knows you. So yes, that is the answer to that. I've had dudes trying to talk to me in the grocery store, and I'm like, I'll probably, give a little bit of attention, but as far as inviting them to my house or maybe even taking it further, no. I'll be like, you ain't finna get me. Okay, y'all, so this is part 6. And I'm just make this about why I didn't go to trial. The funeral, how the funeral was for me and my sister. That's kind of what I'm going to hint on. Another important question somebody had asked was, did he kill someone before my mom? I want to say yes, or he either went to jail previous for beating his ex-wife. So he definitely had like a record. I will say that. And yeah, I did not go to trial because that freaked me out. Like, I think if I ever come across him, I think I would probably just maybe faint. Like, I think I'd be scared to death. So, like I said, when they asked, hey, do you want to testify? I was just like, mm-mm. So, so that was that. And when in the courtroom, he pled guilty, like it was an accidental. So I don't know if that's why he got off. But with him doing everything to his face, to her face, I don't think that's necessary. necessarily how it went. And then like back then I remember them saying he got 25 years of life, and I remember my aunties and uncles and them saying like, if he ever see a daylight again, you know, and saying that ain't long enough. But anytime you hear life, you kind of think like, okay. But yeah. And then the funeral, just touching on that, they said it was going to be a closed casket. Y'all, when me and my sister walked into that damn funeral home, we had on 2 long dresses. I think mine was pink, hers was purple, and the casket was wide open. We saw Mama laying up in that damn casket. We was spooked. Y'all should have saw how fast we walked down that aisle, because it was like, you know how the church is set up, it's like walkways. We sprinted to our seats, like we thought it was a closed casket.
That's sad. So I will say this. Her story reminds me of my cousin. Her boyfriend killed her. That story was so crazy. It was awful. And she had a little girl. And she was just doing so well for herself. Like, she had like 2, 3 cars. She had her condo. And I think she was like trying to break up with him, and he wasn't having it. And he unalived her. So I'm trying to be mindful of what I say. Ladies, we got to be mindful of the signs, for real, for real. And tell somebody if somebody is putting their hands on you. And sometimes it's not even always like physical abuse. Sometimes it's verbal abuse, mental abuse. Point blank, if the man is mean to you, like malicious, did it, just go ahead and end it. Because no, we don't do that. We don't entertain those types of men. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And I will catch y'all on the next one. Bye.